Mrs. Miller here with your second Summer Tuesday Book Talk of the year. I am very excited to bring you today the story of our next book, because this week's book is a true summer read. It's exciting, it's action-packed, and it's one that you won't want to put down until you finished it. Trust me, I know. And the great thing about it is when you're done, there's a sequel that you can go get, so you don't have to wait for the second part of the story. So let's get started. I have a question for you before I tell you about the book. How many of you have ever wished that you could change everything about your life? That you could change your name, your identity, your looks, and leave your old life behind and start a brand new one? We've all considered it at one point or another, but our main character in this week's book gets that chance, although it's not something that he chooses for himself. This week's book is Zach's Lie by Roland Smith. The genre is realistic fiction, but it's got action, suspense, and a little bit of romance in it too. Our main character is Jack Osborne. Jack is 13 years old, and he has a very normal life living with his dad, who's a pilot, his mom, and his older sister, Joanne, who is very annoying. The novel opens, however, in a very tumultuous time in his family's life. Jack, his mom, and his sister are being escorted by two people named Aunt Doris and Uncle Don to their new home. Well, Doris and Don are not related to Jack's family at all. In fact, their real names aren't even Doris and Don. They're FBI agents who have been assigned to help Jack and his family change their identity. Jack's father, the pilot, has been arrested for drug trafficking, for helping to smuggle drugs on his plane. And some masked men come to the Osborne's house in the middle of the night, tie up Jack, his sister, and his mother, and threaten them with death. The masked men leave on getting Mom's promise that she will convince her husband not to talk to the authorities, not to tell them who they are. And not long after that, the FBI comes, raids their home, and Mom, being smart, decides to tell them what's happened about these masked men, and they come up with a plan to help get the Osbornes to safety and to try and get Dad to cooperate with their help so they can put these evil men in jail where they belong. They know they can't stay in their house, they can't stay in their hometown. So they become candidates in the witness protection program, and they have to change everything about who they are. They change their names, they come up with a new life story saying that they're from Portland, not from where they're originally from, and they even change their looks. Mom changes her hair color, sister does too, Zach refuses to, but they all are forced to wear colored contacts to hide their identities even more. Although the family is told not to bring anything with them that would link them to their former life, Jack, whose new name is now Zach Granger, cannot leave his journals behind. Journaling is the one thing that helps him stay connected with his old life and helps him to get out his feelings. The one place that he can be truthful. It's the one place that he doesn't have to lie. With the villains searching for them, they know that there can be no slip-ups. They can't tell anybody anything about who they really are. But Zach soon learns that in this new town they moved to, a very small town named Elko, Nevada, that there are rules, and they are known as the 3 E's. And that's everybody knows everything about everyone. Zach is quiet at his new school, Elko Middle. He's lonely, but he does begin to make some friends. The first is a girl named Kathleen, who is beautiful. She's popular, she's kind, and this new friendship draws the anger of an 8th grade boy named Peter. Peter likes Kathleen, oh yeah, and he makes it his mission to make Zach's new life miserable. It all comes to a head when Zach and Peter get into a fist fight between classes one day, and Zach is sent to the principal's office to be disciplined. The principal, who doesn't trust him because he's a new kid, sends him to the janitor's office. Mr. Sebesta, Sam is his name. Mr. Sebesta, even though he's the janitor, is in charge of discipline. Mr. Sebesta's office is underneath the auditorium in the basement, and in his office he has a punching bag. And whenever anyone gets in trouble at Elko Middle School, Mr. Sebesta takes them there and has them eat the punching bag before he tries to find out what's happened or what went wrong to get them in trouble. And Zach knows upon his first meeting of Mr. Sebesta that he is not your typical janitor. He helps out with the productions there at school. They're doing one called The Opera Ghost, which is based on the Phantom of the Opera. And he's very kind and very wise, and in the end turns out not to be at all who Zach thought he was. And not only does Sam turn out to be someone totally different than who Zach first assumed he was, Zach's life is also, new life is thrown into turmoil when Peter steals one of his journals, reads it, and finds out who Zach really is. And not only does this threaten Zach's life at school, but it puts his family and his new friends in the town of Elko in very, very serious danger.